day everyone, and I am Harda La Rosa from Group 3, and we are here to present our study entitled Impact of Working Environment to the Job Satisfaction of Workers in Malolos, Bulacan. Employees are one of the most important people in the business industry in jobs or aspect of work. They are the sole component of the economic growth that also helps and influences the tourism industry to give world-class and hospitable services. Satisfied employees are more likely to put a greater effort in their work, and they will work harder and more efficiently as a result. And as a result, every company strives to develop a happy workforce in order to maintain the company's well-being individual. Employees and efficiency and effectiveness, on the other hand, are critical to overall organizational performance.
Statement of the problem. The main concern of this study is to determine the impact of the working environment to the job satisfaction of workers in Malolos, Bulacan. Specifically, the study seeks to answer the following question. Number 1. How can the working environment of the respondent be described? Number 2. What is the level of job satisfaction of the workers in Malolos, Bulacan? Number 3. Is there any significant relationship between the working environment and job satisfaction of the workers in Malolos, Bulacan?
The research method chosen by the researcher is correlational research method. Correlational research is non-experimental research method in which a researcher examines two variables, understand and evaluate the statistical relationship. It helps researcher find the variable with the strongest correlation and make better long-term conclusion. To researcher, correlational investigation can be used to determine the direction and strength of a link between two variables. In the study, correlational research method determines the relation between the worker environment and the job satisfaction of the worker in Malolos, Bulacan.
The respondents of the researchers are the workers inside the Malolos Bulacan. The respondents need to have background knowledge and experience to answer the questionnaires provided by researchers based on the researchers' study. The participants help to provide the data needed to complete the information to be able to understand the research study by scaling their experience in their working environment in relation to their job and satisfaction. In the massive populations of Malolos, Bulacan, with populations of 261,189 people according to the census of 2020, and due to the massive size of population's limited sources, the researchers came up with the 250 as the population size of the research, using the solving formula with 93% of confidence level, 7% of margin of error, 50% of response distributions. The researchers produced at a total of 101 sample size, and upon data gathering their responses, collected about 101 total respondents, equivalent to the sample size.
The study selected non-probability sampling technique as a convenience sampling technique for the study's respondent. A convenience sample is a non-probability sampling method in which a sample is drawn from a group of people who are easy to contact. The researchers utilized convenience sampling techniques to gather data from the workers in the city of Malolos, Bulacan. The researchers utilized the school premises where the students are asked for their cooperations to connect to their parents who work inside Malolos, Bulacan to be the study's respondent. And the students themselves if they are also employed inside Malolos, Bulacan. Convenience sampling is a sort of non-probability sampling in which participants are chosen because they are convenient data for researchers. This method helped the researchers to easily gather data from easy and convenient selected respondents to the population sample. It is a practical technique where the participants of the study have a chance to participate.
Segmentation. The researchers survey type of questionnaire for the study. The tool was a validated survey which utilized the Likert scale, which measured the impact of the working environment to the job satisfaction of workers in Malolos, Bulacan. The researchers recommended the helpfulness of evaluating the impact workers lives by the administrating the survey to the students inside the Constellation University Philippines, to the connected the researchers to their parents who work inside Malolos, Bulacan.
Statistical treatment of data. The results were processed using the Google Sheets and Excel 2019 with the Pearson correlation coefficient. The data were presented in the forms of tables, graphs, and text. To thoroughly seek an answer on the impact of the working environment to the job satisfaction of workers in Malolos, Bulacan, the researchers utilized correlational statistics such as percentage, weighted mean, and Pearson correlation coefficient. The statistical measures employed in the study to describe the association between work environment and job satisfaction are mentioned below. Number 1, which is percentage. The percentage was used in the distribution of respondents according to their age and gender in Malolos, Bulacan. The symbol for percent simply means per 100. 1% is 100th of total or whole number. The frequency in the category is divided by the total number of participants multiplied by 100% to get the percentage, according to corbesite.com of 2013.
According to Clark Carter, each data point in a set is multiplied by a value specified by some attribute of whatever contributed to the data point in the weighted mean. The weighted mean is an average that is calculated by assigning various weights to the sum of the individual variables. The weighted mean is similar to the arithmetic means when all the weights are equal. According with SOP1 and SOP2, the weighted mean was utilized to analyze the questionnaire data.
Third of our statistical treatment of data is Pearson correlation coefficient. To answer the SOP3 question, the weighted mean of SOP1 and SOP2 was interpreted using the Pearson correlation coefficient. The Pearson correlation method is the most often used approach for numerical variables. It assigns a number between 0 and 1, with 0 indicating no connection and 1 indicating total positive. A positive correlation indicates that if a variable A rises, so will variable B, whereas a negative correlation indicates that if A rises, B will decrease. The data acquired through the use of questionnaires is presented, analyzed, and interpreted in this chapter. The data analysis results are evaluated in light of and in order of the research questions given in Chapter 1. Scaling will range from strongly agree with equivalent points of 5 to strongly disagree with equivalent points of 1. Upon computing the mean scores of every statement, the mean scores range from 3.23 to 3.63. The weighted mean is a total of 3.50. Overall, the weighted mean scores for Table 4 that describes the working environment of the respondents is equal to 3.50 and can be also referred to as a 4.00 weighted mean score, which summarizes strong agreement to the statements for the working environment. This table undergone the same process, and overall, the weighted mean score for the description of the level of job satisfaction for workers in Malolos, Bulacan gained a total of 3.45 weighted mean score, which is interpreted as an agreement for the statements for the level of job satisfaction. This graph shows the results of Pearson's correlation, indicating that there is a significant large positive relationship between X and Y, where the Pearson's correlation coefficient is 0.87, 1821, or 0.87, which is equivalent to very strong positive correlation, whereas X is equal to description of working environment and Y is equal to description of the level of job satisfaction. A correlation of 1.0 shows that the relationship is perfectly positive. A positive relationship is one in which the correlation coefficient is larger than 0. The results gain 0.87 coefficient value. That is greater than 0 and lower than 1, which means that the working environment and job satisfaction have a strong positive correlation with each other.
Give the differences of work and place. Is it important to provide all the workers a good and comfortable working environment to hustle on? The study includes that the worker environment gained 3.50 and the level of the job satisfaction gained 3.45. Both factors reach an agreed interpretation that is equivalent coefficient value of 3.0 to 4.0. The gathered data is a total of 100 workers responded in Malolos, Bulacan. The researcher utilized the simple random sampling using a convenient sampling technique to get the sample size needed. All the questionnaires were structured in the form of Likert scale and scale from the strongly disagree to strongly agree.
The researchers used the statistical treatment percentage, weighted mean, and Pearson correlation coefficient to assess, analyze, and draw conclusions after collecting data from the respondents. Students, schools, and teachers will benefit from the findings, as will parents, future researchers, institutions, businesses, and employees. In SOP1, how can the working environment of the respondents be described? The study found that working environments were effectively and agreeable described by the respondents as a good working environment, as their answers were equivalent to 3.50, which is interpreted as an agreement from the coefficient value of 3.0124. In SOP2, what is the level of job satisfaction of the workers in Malolos, Bulacan? According to the results of the weighted mean, job satisfaction of the worker were observed in 3.45 mean score, which is equivalent to agreeing of the respondents for their level of job satisfaction in workplace. 3.5 or 3.50 fell down to coefficient value of 3.01 to 4 that is interpreted as an agreement to the following statement from the questionnaires.
Is there any significant relationship between the worker's environment and the job satisfactions of of the workers of Malolos, Bulacan using the divergence correlations coefficients. The result between the working environment and its impact of the job satisfaction came out with a significant large positive relationship because of the correlations coefficients of value of 0.87, 1821, or 0.87. It is that the working environment impact of job satisfactions.
The null hypothesis shall be rejected as the finding shows that the working environment impacts the job satisfaction of workers in Malolos, Bulacan, considering the factors of good working environment and job satisfaction statements given from the surveys, and together with all the results from the computation, analysis, and interpretation. Additionally, job satisfaction is tied to the total output of an organization as well as the quality of individual work.
In conclusion, there is a strong significant relationship between working environment and job satisfaction. The results prove that working environment impacts the job satisfaction of the workers, influence from the benefits and treatment of the one organization to an employee. A good working environment is highly crucial to the job satisfaction of employees and creates an effort to the performance of the employees. Job satisfaction has a big impact to development and the progress of an organization. Based on the study, a weak job satisfaction can drive an organization to negativity.
Working environment impact job satisfactions, and job satisfactions impact the job performance of an employee. As the working environment resulted positively, evidently, the job satisfactions will clearly result as positive impact to the organization. The treatment of the organization's it is system highly affects the working environment, that impact job satisfactions. The working environment should satisfy the workers and create the innovations environment for any chances of change.
Teaching the students about the importance of good work environment can help them determine if such a place is good for work or its sideslight. Also, it will them to create a working environment for themselves to improve their study habits. Parents' awareness. Such a place environment that and the proper organization can also help for innovation of working habits. Also, parents are also workers. An additional benefits and consideration for such parenting and parenthood can improve the essence of the working environment for them. Working environment should focus on the investing and benefits of employees. Working environment should be a top priority because before a massive hiring to avoid the circumstance of any misconception.
Job satisfaction of the employees should be strictly monitored for the organizational growth and development. And job satisfaction should also be intertwined with the job performance of an employee to monitor the development and what possible changes or training to be used to innovate the employee's skills. That's all for today for the presentation of our study. Thank you and have a great day.